Okay, so today what we're going to be looking at is a beta quest from Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. As you can see here, after the Nintendo logo boots up, you're taken straight into Hyrule Field. There's no enemies present just now. The drawbridge is also raised, so which is normally at that time of night, but using the moon jump as seen here, you can clip right over. Now here's the interesting part. You're taken to the shop and at Death Mountain, so you can interact with them here. I've just taken out the ocarina, which then turns into the boat. It's quite strange, that. And then right away I'm taken to the place where you first meet Zelda at the start, or pretty much near the start of the game. Now what the game thinks is happening here is that you've completed it, and since there was no FMVs on the Nintendo 64, all the cutscenes were in real time, so it thinks that you've actually completed the game by using this beta code. And well, here's the thing, she is solid, you can't walk through her, she's still there. Obviously this is the windows where you would normally see Ganondorf walking through near the start of the game. It's just the windows there. And then over here it's the famous photos where you see Mario and also Peach. Yep, and using the moon jump you can do this as well. So this is all using one of the beta codes, or beta codes, whatever you want to call it. And when you exit out of here, instead of going back into the courtyard, you're transferred into Hyrule Castle Town. And then this is the guard that's having a wee snooze, but you can walk right through him, so he's unlike Zelda that way. And at this point, this is where, we'll just wait until it happens, this is where the game actually decides to freeze. That was it, so that was that. And then after rebooting it and putting in a different code, something different, exit from Kakariko Village. And again you can see that what's happening here, running across Hyrule Field. But notice this time the bridge going into Hyrule Castle Town is broken. And again it turns into night very quickly, almost as if when you're a child and you've got all three spiritual stones. Remember how the day would transition into night very quickly, and Ganondorf would appear. This is all normal fare for the adult Link. But it's when you get into the Temple of Time, that's when things start to change a wee bit. Because obviously you're an adult by this point and you should have opened up the Door of Time, but obviously because it's on using a beta code, it's a wee bit different. So it's just killing some redeads there. Some just don't want to go down, as it were. And again, pretty standard. Fortunately you can't use the moon jump to jump over that wee bit of concrete there. I'm not quite sure why, and there's Death Mountain in the background as it is when you're an adult. But this is the interesting part. So all three stones are now here, but it's almost as if you've never been in the Temple of Time before with that wee introduction. But all three stones are spinning, but the Door of Time is still closed. And there you go, take out the ocarina. Even though you'll notice it's a fairy ocarina that's on that was on the C button, he's pulled out the Ocarina of Time here. Had a wee bit of a problem here, couldn't remember what the Song of Time was, and because it's in the beta mode as well, it was, the controls weren't quite working properly for some reason. The C buttons weren't acting the way they should have been. So you go try to remember it there, and just putting in the Song of Time. Nope, still not it. Nope, still in a wee bit of difficulty with this one, unfortunately. Get there eventually. There you go, that's it now. Playing the Song of Time, which obviously, for those that have played the game before, this would, when you were a child, this would then end up opening up the Door of Time as seen here. I'm not quite sure why the aspect ratio has changed as well from one, using one code to the other, but as you notice it's actually changed from the first part of the video. I'm not quite sure why that is. Might have been something they were testing for. If they were wanting to do the game in 16:9, I honestly don't have a clue about that one. That's everything. And you go, the Triforce lights up, and then the door will end up opening. Magic. All as what it would be as if you were still, as if you were the child Link and you were ready for. Well, I'll show you what happens when you go through the door of time. This is again a weird part because the game thinks that you're already the game already knows you're an adult. So again, this is a weird perspective, which I don't recall being in the original or in the final cut of the game. So you go, it's almost as if you're waking up after 7 years. The Master Sword is not inside the pedestal of time. And Navi thinks that you've been asleep for 7 years. So it's almost as if this is exactly what happens when you are in the ego. There's, well, we all know who this is. I won't spoil it for those that haven't played the game. And to be honest, that's pretty much it. After here, she just talks about her, about where you need to go next, where all the sages are, and everyone already knows what happens in that anyway. For those that have played the game, we know what goes next. Where you have to go to the Kakariko village next, get the hook shot, and then go to the forest temple. Some people, I remember in NGC magazine or N64 magazine as it was back then, they always suggested you to go to the fire temple first. Could never quite understand why you would do that. I mean, there's no reason why you can't go to the fire temple first. You can, but always just assumed that everyone would go to the forest temple first because of the suggestion that you are given here, and plus you can't revert back to a child until you complete the forest temple. If there was any reason why you wanted to revert back to a child, of course. But I'm fairly sure as well, I might be wrong on this one, but you can't get Epona until you've completed the forest temple. That's me doing a wee bit of moon jumping there. There you go, she's suggesting you go to Kakariko village. Sorry for those that haven't played this game, if I'm just a wee spoiler. And then you're running back out again. This is the weird part. Here. So after you've seen this, and obviously the game knows that you're an adult, but it's reacting as if though you're a child again. And instead of the Master Sword, she is standing there instead, and then just going up. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it fun. I'll be making some more videos soon, and also one on F-Zero AX, which I'm working on just now. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Have a nice